Today I'm out here in my outdoor studio and we're talking about film camera bodies, the differences between a rangefinder. I have the Leica M6 and an SLR. Mine is the Nikon FE2. We're going to talk about three main differences between the two and why you might choose one over the other. So I'm going to talk about three different things. One, how to load film. Second, focus, how to focus each system. And then finishing off with why I choose one over the other for different styles of film photography. So let's talk about loading film. First, Leica M6. I'm going to do a little video so you can take a look at this in a moment, but when I'm holding on to it, it is a little bit cumbersome. It's different than an SLR, and I'll show you why. When you turn it over, there's a bottom plate. That bottom plate comes off. Opening it up, and then you have to hold on to it and then lower this flap, and then you're going to load the film. Once again, let's check out this video and you can see a little bit more detail what this looks like. Dragging the film across and loading it into the spool, and then closing everything back up and putting that bottom plate back on after you're done. So after you've done it 1,000 times, you're not going to worry about it. It'll be second nature. But it takes a little bit of a learning curve. At least it did for me, because I started with an SLR way back when. And I've shot, I don't even know how many rolls of film through this camera. And it's second nature. It's as simple as just pulling up, opening it up, and then loading the film and closing it back up. I'm going to put in a video here so you can see a little bit more detail once again with the SLR. If I were doing action photography or something where I'm in a hurry to load film, I'm not going to be using the Leica M6. I'm going to use an SLR, and it's quicker and easier for me to load the film. And that's until I get really comfortable with the M6. I've had the M6 for about 3 years, and I've probably put maybe 100 rolls of film through it, and I'm still clumsy with it. I'll admit it. Maybe it's just I'm older and I'm not quite as good with my hands, but over time, I'm sure I'll get better with it, and everyone's getting easier than the one before, and that's just me. It's up to you to make that decision between the two, and you can figure it out for yourself, but there are differences between the two. So let's talk about focus. Focus is very different between a rangefinder and an SLR. With a rangefinder, you're not looking through the lens. You're looking through a viewfinder that goes straight through the body, and it has a focus patch. And that focus patch is two, I call them rectangles. And when there are two of them, that means you're out of focus. When they come together, you're in focus. Now, rangefinders are just that. You are focusing to a certain range or distance in front of you. And you're going to do that more with a rangefinder than you are with an SLR, in my opinion. Now, once again, all of this is my opinion in the way that I use my camera. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of comments below, but you have a range of information on the lens itself. The lens is going to tell you what distance, whether it be meters or feet, is going to be in focus at a specific aperture. And you'll see those numbers on some lenses where you can then do range finding. And if you want it 3 feet, 6 feet, 10 feet, whatever it is in front of you, you can set that beforehand, and then you can shoot, and you just have to worry about exposure. That is kind of the bigger difference between that and an SLR. Now with an SLR, I'm just going to focus directly with the lens, and I'm going to look straight through the viewfinder, and I'm then going to focus the lens. And there's going to be a circle that's going to have a line through the middle of it, and it's going to be off kilter if it's out of focus, or it's going to be in focus. But I'm actually looking through the lens, and I can see specifically if it's in focus or not, because the image in front of me will be in focus through that lens. Now, I am left eye dominant. People will give me a hard time because I use my left eye with a rangefinder. And most people use their right eye because they want their left eye open to be able to then see things coming into the frame, and being able to see your subjects with your left eye and then looking through that rangefinder, that viewfinder with your right eye. I can't do that. My right eye floats, so I'm using my left eye. If you ever see me in videos shooting with my M6 and I've got my left eye over the lens, just know that. And I don't need to tell everybody that all the time, but It is something that I do with my left eye, and that's a choice that I make. I could do it with my right eye, but I know that I would have issues with it, and it would make my photography that much harder. Everybody's got their own things that they need to adjust for, and that is one thing that I have to do. So there are big differences between the rangefinder and the SLR when it comes to focus. Now let's talk about why I would choose one over the other for different photo shoots. For me, the M6 takes more time. I have to slow myself down. I really have to think about focus, the distance, getting everything in the proper exposure. It's a little bit more cumbersome for me to work with. Now that may be just me because I'm fairly new to rangefinders. Fairly new meaning I've been shooting for about 3 to 4 years with this camera. And then I've been shooting SLR since I was a kid. I started in the 70s. What I would do with an M6, I would do things like street photography. I would do static portraits. If I've got somebody on a stool and there's a static distance between me and the subject, anything like that, I would shoot with the M6. Now, action, I'm going to shoot with the SLR. The reason is I can do faster focus with this. I can adjust that focus on the fly. I'm looking through the lens, and I can rapidly adjust from one distance to the next with extreme changes. Now that may be also experience. I have more experience with my SLR. I also worked with SLRs that had auto winders, longer lenses. I had a 70 to 210 on my SLR. I'm never going to put that kind of a lens onto my M6. So you have to think about what you're shooting, what's your style of shooting, and what camera is going to work best for you for that. I know the M6 is kind of that holy grail of film cameras and everybody wants to get one, but you're not going to be happy with it if your style of shooting is different and more run and gun and going for faster motion and things that are moving all the time. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's my personal opinion based on my use of these cameras. I'm really curious what your thoughts are. And yeah, what you're using your different film cameras for and how you're shooting them. So we've covered a lot, changing film, focusing, and why I choose one over the other for different styles of photography. I'm really curious where you are in your process and what you got from this video. Go ahead and drop that comment below. You stuck around this long, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to check out more videos similar to this. My name is John Weinberg. Till next time, take care.